Are we ready?
And we're live with another episode. Episode 50. 50 of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Tomb of Annihilation. Starring such people as Kashcah.
Oh, hi, I'm DM. Yep, 50 episodes. Wow, I'm surprised you guys have put up with it this long.
I think you're just leading us along so that we finally just get killed. I don't know how we've survived this long. But Kashcah's our DM. Straight up from her is our sad person. We'll cover him in a minute. But next to the little lizard dude, would you stop that, Nerevar? is Rorax, who plays Aelia, the Centaur Cleric of the Grave, who may or may not be joining us. We shall see. Next to her is Nerevar.
That will be me. I can't believe I'm sitting here with you this long at this quote unquote table playing this campaign.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll be playing Tobias Salazar, who is a Spacial sorcerer, and he's commanding his Eidolon Arokh Ironscale.
It's been going on for like a year now.
We've been playing for over a year. Yeah.
We've been playing for
Is Spacial sorcerer or summoner? Summoner.
He's just say he's special. Special caster with his little dragon buddy. All right, next to Nerevar, who also has a Twitch channel, by the way. So feel free to check out NerevarDZN on Twitch most days. Anyway, we have Kellisto.
I'm Kellisto, the Bear Guide Clan, and yeah, I got nothing more than that.
She likes the drink. She likes the loot.
I can't drink in real life, so at least I make my character do that.
There you go. There you go. It's all part of fantasy roleplay. Next to Kellisto, we have Lyssa.
I am Valia Bonesmasher. I am a Lizardfolk Barbarian who likes to eat and beat up things.
Mm-hmm. Very much
and
so.
get Kellisto into trouble.
Mm. The next to Lyssa
Happily follows.
Oh yes, of course. Is myself. I'm Vallen. I play Ulfgar Holderheck, a Valor bard with divine sorcerer in him, and he's of the Emerald Enclave, and also kind of the driving force of the party, but not always. Sometimes he likes to just kind of kick back and take a day off. Doesn't usually work out that way. He ends up getting eaten. So let's go to a recap of last episode. What a way to go.
Oof.
So this being the big map here that we're on in the city of Omu. We were currently in which one was it we were in? Oh yeah, that's right. We were on this large pedestal in the lava lake. And we had successfully buried acid pits that had formed as some sort of trap in an effort to try and get back into the trapped area, obtain the puzzle cubes that were piled in there, some of which might have been phony. And we discovered one of the 3 cubes was not an illusion, and the key that we were looking for. A Moa puzzle cube, in fact. So we kept that one, ditched the other 2, and moved on. Which we decided that the last place was going to be way up here in the northwest area. And we started exploring. We followed this little red line here all the way up to this area. And we're like, let's check out this really big building. And what was inside? A bunch of yellow musk zombies. In fact, there was at least 12 of them. And they were all covered with some kind of living plant entity that had burrowed into them as well. We actually made fairly quick work of them. They all had grouped up, and we unleashed a plethora of area of effect attacks, which were very effective in reducing the zombies to piles of dust, but not the plants themselves that were attached to them. Those took a bit more effort, and in fact, in the battle to destroy said little blighters there, the they attacked and killed Gao. That little guy you see in the top right of the screen there. The king of the kobolds was felled in battle.
The king has left the building.
Yep. So, upon several tries to resurrect him, none of which were successful, it was decided that we would cast his remains into the fiery pit from which he was born. Him being a kobold and working for a fire dragon, you know. So, we held a ceremony, submitted his remains there. It was a sad time. Very sad time. And then we camped for the night in, I believe, just a nearby area, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember where we actually camped there. But
I think you're in like this building here, actually. See how that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're probably right. Okay. And so then our quest remains, where we are supposed to try and head northwest into the zone where the King of Feathers, a more than average size Tyrannosaurus Rex, who seems to have been hit by some kind of enlarged spell, perhaps at one time in its life and made permanent, is wandering the terrain. So we're trying to find the temple, avoid further loss, and as such, we resume. Kashcah?
Yeah, so you've rested for the night in this building here. So yeah, alright, poor girl. So you, I assume you use your hut and
Yes.
all the usual shenanigans, and you're able to pass the night with no interruption, so everybody gets in a long rest. And morning breaks, and yeah, it's actually up to you guys what you would like to do.
Well, with heavy feet and peace, a very somber attitude, Ulfgar would be eager to still head northwest and get the job done at this point.
Sounds good to me.
Actually, I guess just north, considering we're in the west at this point of the map. So then, I would like to head north. In fact, if I have this, I could do the usual, where we do, is it Q? Move along here. I think you can see my repeating the same route we took before, etc. Heading up.
So you want to kind of retrace your steps back up to that area. Okay. Yeah.
Stop. Okay, there we go. I'm like, stop it. It wouldn't stop doing it. Zoom in. Get a better view. If we don't make it that far up there, please let me know, because I have zoomed in at the top where we ran into those yellow musk zombies.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna kind of go back to the building here? Is that?
Well, I mean, head to the same area, not go into the building. There's no need for that. But probably, I would say he might try getting up on here and seeing if he can see a likely candidate for a temple with the added perspective.
Okay. So you make it kind of well, probably to about here, and you hear a massive roar from north. You know, the kind of north area from you.
It's not a happy T-Rex. Not a happy T-Rex.
You're fairly certain that there's a you can have a really good idea of where he's at, and Zagmira and Orvex kind of like immediately go into full stealth mode.
That sounds like a good plan. So Ulfgar would recommend that, you know, we all try and stay out of sight and maintain as much sneakiness as we can. There's no need to attract more attention. So would I be able to sneak up there and get any better perspective view? Perhaps at least over on, you know, on the other side, at least, if not further down here.
Yeah, I mean, you could, if you want to climb up here, but give me some stealth rolls.
You got
please. I was listening to another DM today, and their strategy for stealth rolls is to have the person with the lowest, you know, either bonus or minus roll, and that's the roll that you use for the whole party. I'm not sure what I think about that.
I think things interesting, but also hard.
I've done it before where you take averages. If you have someone that really did well and someone that really did poorly, I think, like in the Waterdeep campaign.
I think it depends if you would stick together as a group or if you'd kind of separate out a bit. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming he's going up on the wall on his own right now.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
And he's still trying to stay low, but just get a better view.
Okay, and you rolled an 18. Nice. So you show me where you're climbing up.
Hold on. Just pretty much hugging the edge of these stairs here, going up along this railing, and then just going up to the top here so that I can peek over.
Okay.
Oops, sorry, wrong stairs.
I was stairs. Like, wow, you're getting pretty close.
These stairs. These stairs.
Alright, so yeah, you kind of sneak along the side, gluing yourself to the little side wall as much as you can. Stick your head up, like, over, and see, you don't see anything else kind of up on top of the causeway.
Do I see anything across the other side?
You see the roofs of buildings.
All right, so I mean, I'm trying to get a view is my purpose for being up there, not just staying hidden. So.
Okay. Well, so what are you doing?
I'm going to try and look over at the other side.
Okay.
And if that's, you know, if it looks like it'd be easier to actually cross and look over, then I will do that quickly.
Okay. So you, kind of stealth your way over to the other side, and you're looking at the buildings, and you see them as you see them on the map here. It's like a big kind of walled compound. It looks, you would guess, too big to be one of these shrines.
Okay.
And you see, you know, some other kind of buildings as well, but none of them seem to have that double obelisk. You know, so far you've seen like two obelisks either side at every one of the shrines that you've seen, but you don't see any over there.
Then I would take a look out from here to see what I could see.
Okay.
North.
So you see, when you look north, in that arena area, you see, there's kind of almost like a dust cloud forming over it. And then you see something, you're not sure what at this distance, fly up in the air. It's like it was flung up in the air and then kind of drops back down again, beyond your view.
And it was somewhere over here at the Colosseum.
Yeah, it was,
Okay.
in that arena area.
Right. Immediately try and look over here as much as I can.
Okay. So you do get a view of this building here that looks like it has two obelisks in front.
Right. So immediately come back down, tell the rest of the party, and try and say that, you know, there's, I think King of Feathers is somewhere around this area, so we should stay clear. And with that in mind, instead of going around this way, let's go around this way. So,
sounds good to me.
So I will draw a line where I would like to resume and head over this way like that. Pardon me.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Staying sneaky this time.
Okie doke. Alright, so,
So are we doing individual stealth checks or?
yeah, if you're being stealthy, yes, to get around kind of
attempting to
the route that Vallen has marked on the map, then yep, give me a stealth roll, please.
Okay, I will do another. Hui. Do 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 do.
I'm just crying too loudly.
Oh dear.
But not as loudly as Valia.
Oh boy.
So you're...
She doesn't like her little lizard baby dying. Sorry.
You're... Oh, actually, I should do this for... Hang on one sec. I should do this for Aelia as well.
Mm.
She needs a little stealth check going on. Does she have any stealthy capabilities?
Sure she does. She's a cleric.
Oh god.
She automatically gets advantage when she does that.
She's wailing as we walk along.
She seems to be kind of like she's been quite solemn all morning, you know. The whole walk up here, she hasn't really said anything, and it's just like she's been almost in a trance kind of, and so she's really just not paying attention to where she's even kind of walking. And as she's walking, she's like kicking stones, stepping on broken branches. There's just like, you know,
it's not really as much of a stealth check as much as it is her just kind of trotting along.
Yeah, exactly. She's just not taking any care, you know, at all, really, with her presence.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Would Ulfgar recognize that as much as some of the group might be trying, some of the group might not be? And for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly obvious that
that
Aelia is...
To roleplay it here. I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
Hopefully.
Ulfgar would actually call the group to a halt and pull Kellisto to the side and say, I think perhaps, if you don't mind, we try to do you mind casting that spell that kind of keeps us a bit quieter?
Oh.
I think as much as I can ask people to be quiet, I think it'd be easier if we lend a hand where we can.
I look at Aelia and I kind of get where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm. And you could see he's like kind of glancing over at her as he says it.
And I cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
And he says thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, he mouths thank you, but nothing comes out.
Because he's being so
and
super
she still loudly whispers, "You're welcome."
I just look at you two. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Ulfgar just puts a finger to his lips and says,
Kellisto, did you cast a spell on him so he'll shut up? I love you.
Should have taken silence. Should have taken silence so long ago. So many times I wanted to cast silence on this party. Okay.
I stopped myself from laughing out loud. I'm like...
Excuse me. So Ulfgar proceeds to lead the party in the direction of where he was pointing before.
Okay. Right, give me one sec. I'm just preparing the map. One moment. Oh, okay. Is that everybody? Nope, that's not everybody. Where? Oh, okay.
Oh, you've got your 2 NPCs.
Yep. Yeah, hang on. Sorry, one moment. Just want to grab one more thing. Okay, that's better. Move you all down here, and then I can move you over to the map. Because I have a map for this. Yay!
A map. Oh
You're
boy.
excited?
I'm zooming out. Oh, it's itty bitty.
Based.
Well, we've been all over this place.
Yeah, you have.
Dang.
Okay, so who's up front and, you know, all that jazz?
Moi.
Obviously,
I'm up front.
Rorax is going to be in the back. Okay.
Everybody else can speak for themselves.
Anybody else up front with Mr. Ulfgar?
I
No,
guess
I'm
it depends
down
on
in
when
the
you
back.
talk to me. So if you talked to me right before you brought us to the map, I'd probably be next to him. Otherwise, I
Still on
probably would
the
have just
main
stuck
map?
in the middle.
Okay.
I'm still on the main map, so.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the back. I'm gonna be in the front.
Okay, so you're kind of like behind Orvex and Zagmira? Oh,
Yeah, to make sure nothing comes up behind them.
okay. Got it.
And to push
that
them
isn't you.
as they're going because they don't want to move.
I was like, that isn't you.
Okay.
I'll be strolling in the middle.
It's like, hey, you fireball guy.
Okay. Alright, I think I got this kinda.
So
I mean,
Yes, I'm behind Ulfgar, like right behind him.
okay. Alright. Let's do it like that. Alright, let me move you guys over, and we are in what is this? Middle row on the right.
Middle row right.
Over here.
Well, my map was so zoomed in, all I saw was like ugly frog face.
That's just me.
Hopefully you see me pinging.
Yep, I sure do.
Okay. Alright, this is so this is the building that you approach, and let me give you a description of the front of it. Carvings of monkeys hanging by their tails decorate 2 cracked obelisks that stand before a shrine enclosed by broken walls. Past the obelisk is a courtyard filled with horsetails and arum lilies. 5 archways open into darkness at the base of the ruin. Mounted above the central arch is a stone plaque bearing a cuneiform inscription. And you hear, as you approach, a really kind of deep growl, actually. Like, it doesn't sound like a monkey at all.
Instantly freeze and like make a motion for everyone else to as well. What's at the top of the obelisks on this one?
Carvings of monkeys hanging by their tails.
Alright, and I can't see into the darkness.
You can, yeah, if you kind of have a look, sure.
I mean, I'm not going to proceed while I'm hearing something growling at me.
Yeah. Okay. Let me open this up. So, oh, I missed a bit. Okay. So this bit does not have anything special going on. It's just like a hallway, right? There's no door to it or anything like that. The other 4 openings have portcullises that are in the lowered position, so you can clearly see kind of the bars. Can you see that?
I can see some bars here.
Okay.
On the map.
Right,
just on that one.
I need to move them to the other layer. Sorry.
That's okay.
They're all down. I don't know why that one was.
This one is open though, right?
That one is open. The other
Okay.
4 have portcullises that are in the lowered position. And you hear the growling appears to be coming from one of the corridors that has a portcullis lowered. Like, it doesn't appear to be coming from straight ahead of you. But it's kind of tough to tell. You think it's from one of these 2 on the left here.
Okay.
So kind of it's coming from that direction. It's real kind of like rumbly growl, you know.
So Ulfgar would turn around to the group and say that there's what might he compare it to? Perhaps like a lion-like growl, maybe, or
Yeah.
or a dog growl. Okay, so there's some kind of possible large predator, like a cat or something like that, ahead on the left there. I don't know if it's trapped behind those portcullis, or if it just has a windabout to come round to get to us. So be careful. There's trees around here too. You might have some of those asps jumping out on your face.
I give him a look.
What?
And then I point up to the things and I say, but they're monkeys. It says we're supposed to kill monkeys.
Alright, well, be careful you don't have monkeys jumping on your face.
Y'all remember the monkeys we came across before? They weren't very nice.
No, but they were a lot more friendly than those darn that darn statue that was guarding the bridge. Right. So Ulfgar looks a little bit hesitant to actually go in at this point, knowing that there's danger ahead.
Sorry.
He says, "Alright, well, wish me luck. I'll let you know if there's any issues. And if you hear a yelp, come and get me." And
Do you want one of us to go with you?
excuse me. He says, "I'll try and be a bit sneaky about it, but I'm going to protect myself. I can't guarantee I can protect a person that's standing with me."
Okay.
So he iron skins up, casts Shield of Faith on himself, and proceeds to try and stealth forward. At least so he can see further.
Okay. Yeah, alright. Let me reveal. So this, what, you've got like a 60 foot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see pretty much.
To the door, he still gets my 10+ bonus, but after that, it's gone.
Oh, nice. Good call. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Arokh is going to perch himself onto the wall here.
Okay. Does Arokh have dark vision? I forget.
No, he does not.
Okay. There is enough light though, that you see kind of in the shadows of here. Hang on one sec. You see in the shadows of this one right here, something pacing around. There's something moving kind of in the shadows of this one.
I'm gonna step forward and I'm gonna reach in my bag and pull out my obsidian egg, the egg-shaped piece that I have, and hold it. I'm just gonna rub it in my hand, and I should have dark vision.
What? This whole time I've been giving you freaking flashlights and you've got dark vision?
That I had it.
You turd.
Yeah, but the snake goddess chick, remember, she gave me a bunch of little things, and yeah, dark vision stone was one of them. I only have 2 more uses on it, but after this use I have 2 more. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna walk up, try to get a better, like, around to here and look around to see if I can.
Okay. Alright, so you're doing that kind of as Ulfgar is sneaking forward? Or...
Yes.
Okay. So you see, yep, down some of these little alleyways a bit. So you're just thinking about like line of sight, how far you can see down. I suck at this bit. Okay, there we go. So you can see kind of into the entranceways a bit. You can, if you want to kind of walk in front of each of them, then you'll be able to see obviously further down.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna slowly like pace, kind of back and forth,
Okay.
to see what I can.
Okay. Which one do you want to look down first?
We'll go left to right. Start
Okay.
with this first one.
Okay. So down there, you see what looks like a big cat pacing around. He kind of sees you, because I'm assuming you're not being stealthy.
No. I swear I didn't know it was gonna look like a lion.
So it sees you, and you see these kind of two big cat eyes just reflecting back at you in the darkness. And then you hear like the low rumble growl again.
Hakuna Matata.
I just kind of whisper, or kind of shout quietly to Ulfgar, "We have food in this first one."
Not again.
So
you from Arokh.
So Ulfgar, you see down the hallway there is a big statue of a fairly evil looking monkey, and the statue is carved so that the monkey is actually balanced on its tail on top of a stone dais in the middle of this chamber in front of you.
They got some good artisans, that's for certain.
The statue's limbs are kind of all like stretched out, with the hands and feet are kind of cupped.
Okay. Ulfgar is going to inspect the floor as he moves forward for traps, as well as the walls. He's going to take his time and slowly move forward. Not too much time, because he's got the stone skin going on. But he just doesn't want to. He's like going to test the ground, just look to see if there's any holes in the walls or anything that's going to shoot out at him.
Make an investigation check.
Oh boy. Investigation. That's his best skill.
Yeah, you don't seem to find any evidence of traps in this hallway.
Alright. He will slowly move forward. I don't know what I need to do to...
Okay. So hang on one sec. While you're doing that, Monkey, you can see down this hallway, and it's just empty. There's a little kind of at the end it looks like there's a little kind of hollowed out spot, but you can't really see the detail of what's down there from this distance.
Okay, I'll move over to the...
Okay. Kellisto, what are you up to while these two are shenanigans?
Shenaniganizing.
Staying within like the group area so that my pass without a trace still kind of counts for them.
Okay.
Especially the, Ajax and stuff.
One question: does Valia told the rest of the party that there is a lion inside?
I didn't shout, but I did say it loud enough where I was hoping you guys could hear.
She said,
we know that there's food in here, so...
All I said was there was food in there. I didn't say what it was. I just kind of walked off.
That's very vague. That came from your mouth, so...
If I see somebody walking towards them, I'll be like, be careful, there's a giant cat in there.
I would like to check if there are any tracks outside.
Ulfgar tracks.
Oh. Give me a survival check.
What?
Dwarf and lizard-sized tracks.
What the heck? We're using these skills we don't normally use. Probably because we're so crap at them, but...
survival.
You do see tracks, yeah.
Ooh.
You see what look like... Oh, hang on one sec. Look like human tracks, actually. Or at least humanoids. They're like shoe prints? Boot prints? Something like that?
Others than Ulfgar?
Yes, definitely. These are kind of bigger than... Like, Ulfgar's feet are kind of like wide and short. These are longer.
No animal tracks?
No animal tracks at all.
Hmm. Okay. Kellisto, Valia. There might be someone around here. Someone other than us.
They do look somewhat fresh, actually.
How long has it been since I cast my spell?
Ooh. Wait, hang on. You just cast it a little bit before you were... Probably like half an hour? Maybe 45 minutes? Something like that?
Can you tell what color clothing they were wearing? Nerevar, how good is your tracking skill? How tall were they?
Well, since it's really getting close to the end of it, if I'll tell the others to just kind of like hunker down behind some bushes and behind the wall, and I will, and then I'll tell Tobias that I'm gonna go around the building and check things out, and I will turn into a panther.
This is excellent.
Okay.
We're effectively doing things we've never done before and splitting the party. This is
Devious plan. Okay. So you wild shape into a panther.
Or actually, wait, I'm sorry. I should do a mastiff instead, so I can have the nose, the smell. Sorry.
that
Right.
sniffer.
Yeah, you can go for whatever.
I'll be a mastiff.
Okay.
Wolf.
All right. A big cat hiss comes from from this direction. So yeah, you wild shape into a mastiff, and you.
I'm gonna go sniff around the footprints and see if I can catch a scent.
Okay. So you do catch a scent, and it's one that you think you've smelled before. Maybe like you actually recall smelling it when you turned into a mastiff before over at the camp that the other red wizards had perished at. But it's not the red wizard smell, it's a different smell. And you kind of sniffing around on the ground following the scent, and the scent goes in and out of each of these hallways. Like there's feet, the scent is kind of traveling in and out of all 5 of these hallways, these corridors.
Interesting. Does it go anywhere else after that?
Then it heads, well, there's definitely kind of coming or going, you're not sure which, kind of actually where you're standing, where Kellisto is standing now. So like between the obelisks and away from here.
So then I will turn back into myself, and then I will let Tobias know what I found. That, so basically, turn back into myself, and then I'm like, I know that scent. I've smelled that before, when we first came here with the Red Wizards, where we found Ajax. I can't remember his name, so or Vex.
I feel like it's not important to Kellisto at all, whatever
really.
his name is.
And so I smelled the smell, and I followed it, and it's going in and out of these hallways into the. But then I lost it after that.
Dogs?
Quack.
I think it's a humanoid of some sort. Don't really know. No, I know the smell though.
Yeah, it's not a dog smell.
We do know that red wizards at that camp were attacked by Yuan-Ti. Does this smell like Yuan-Ti?
Would I know what a Yuan-Ti smells like?
That's what I'm asking. Actually, that's if you have a. Well, can you think of a reason why you would know what a Yuan-Ti smells like?
Not unless it was completely different than humans, because that's what the red wizards were.
It does smell quite different than humans, yeah.
Then I would say it's not human. It may be Yuan-Ti, but I don't really know.
You were around when we fought those Yuan-Ti at the gate?
Yeah, but I wasn't a dog. I have to be a dog.
Fair point. Fair point.
I mean, if I kept the smell when I wasn't a dog, that'd be awesome.
No, but you were raised by dogs.
It would be super fun to be a big mastiff as well.
I should have licked everyone before I turned back. Freak them out.
Looking for Scooby snacks.
All right, so what's the rest of you doing?
Okay, one more question. Those enclosed areas are in total darkness, right?
Right, say again. Sorry.
There's dark inside. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Arokh kinda don't see this lion. Okay.
You can see, I mean, there's daylight, right, like filtering in there. So when the lion kind of, because this lion is like moving up and down this tunnel, right? So when he gets close to the entrance, you kind of see this shadowy figure, like, you know, and you kind of see the eyes like shining in the darkness. You know, like cat eyes have that shiny thing going on. So you can definitely see like the shape of it occasionally.
I'm gonna check the last two.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the next, entrance into the next room for stuff as I go as well.
So
okay, meanwhile, Tobias will prepare a mound of dirt.
Bye, kitty. Bye, kitty.
Just in case. Like a little bit amount of dirt right here, like 5 cubic feet.
So Ulfgar, you can kind of see like probably like this.
Okay.
So you see things that you notice, right? First of all, the statue looks very much like a thing that you have fought before.
Like the really long-tailed baboon monkeys?
Evil monkeys. Yep. Looks like one of those.
A sneer crosses Ulfgar's face in the darkness.
And you also see there's water on the floor. And you don't see like a source that it would have come from.
Alright. As dark vision, I don't think allows him to see through water unless he's like in it or something. At least that's how I'm thinking of it, like...
Oh, let me explain a little better then. Sorry, there's just like large kind of puddles. Okay. So it's not like it looks, and the floor looks fairly smooth, right? But there's just these large puddles there's about 4 of them on the floor.
So at this point, is it just like somewhat clean? Is there like gravel or bits of rock or stone?
Rock and stone.
Rock and stone for Carl. For Gao. Is there... you know what? Never mind. He'll reach into his pocket, pull out a copper coin, and he'll try to quietly cast a light spell on it.
Okay.
And he'll poke his head into the room and move another step closer, assuming he's not walking on any of the water.
No, the water is like pretty much under the statue, actually.
Okay.
So you see, there are these kind of alcovey bits.
Okay.
Like this. Let me describe the room a bit better to you. Okay, so you saw the 10-foot tall statue of the monkey. Statue's limbs are splayed with hands and feet cupped. On the wall behind the statue, a sculpted relief shows a monkey-like creature tearing into a giant serpent. And there are cuneiform inscriptions are carved above and below the relief. 4 masks of painted stone protrude from the walls. That's what you see kind of in these 4 bits like here, right? They depict the heads of a lion, a zebra, a boar, and a vulture.
Okay. And what about the back wall?
That's where the sculpted relief shows a monkey-like creature tearing into a giant serpent.
So there's a lion, a zebra, a boar, and what was it?
A vulture? Hang on, let me see.
Vulture.
So, yeah, lion, boar. This is the lion. This is the boar.
Oh, okay.
This is the zebra. And this is the vulture.
Okay. And there's water on the floor in a puddle of some sort. Can he see through it?
There's a few puddles underneath the statue.
Can he see through the water?
Yeah, it just looks like a stone floor underneath.
He's very suspicious of everything in here, especially the floor, and even more so water upon this floor, because it's a curse upon this ground. So he'll use his move water ability. He'll cast that spell and try and sweep it over into this corner over here, and then freeze it into like a ball.
Yeah. Yep, there's a little blob of ice now over in the corner.
And then he'll proceed to inspect basically this platform without touching. Okay. Just looking for any kind of traps and things like that. Then he'll move on to each of the different these things here, of the different busts, so you can continue on with other people while he's inspecting stuff.
Yes, please. So Valia, you check out the last corridor, and you see, as you might expect, that it connects up with the alcove that Valia doesn't know exists yet, but it is just it appears to be empty. There's like it's dusty, cobwebby, not much going on.
Okay, so I'll go back to where the lion is and use my speak with animals and see if I can talk to it.
Oh, you're kitty. I'm sure he'll pal up with your other pet too.
Okay.
Flippy.
Yes, I'm sure they will go very well together.
Tobias is going to ask, what are you going to do?
He's asking Valia that?
Yeah, Valia.
Oh, I tell him as I'm walking by, I said I'm gonna see if this cat has any information. My cat, she wants to talk.
I doubt that it's real.
What do you mean?
There's no tracks of animal going in.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get close to the step bars, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there are these.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of
Don't forget
dried
snacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out a piece of dried fish and hold it up, see if it comes to.
Okay.
I'm like, here, giant kitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the portcullis are they're great heavy metal bars that are, from the top of the archway right down to the floor. So the lion actually stares at you just silently and backs up. You just
I'll try to talk to it anyway.
okay.
Like, hello? Are you okay down there?
Actually, I need to look at something. 1 second. Let me see if the lion would.
This very lion vowed that the next person to utter those words it would devour. It's a special vowing lion. They live centuries, only eating zebras, boars, vultures, and dwarves.
So you say hello? Is that?
Yeah.
The lion kind of it's like he hasn't used his voice before or something. Because he seems to kind of, or they seem to kind of stumble over like what's the word I'm looking for? Articulating, words. But kind of gets out like kind of says like away.
I look at Nerevar, I'm like, it's talking, so are you sure this is not real? It's not talking very well. Just said away.
Illusion can be very deceiving.
Sure. I tossed in. Can I? Are the bars wide enough apart for me to toss in the piece of the dried fish?
Yep, you could kind of toss between them. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss in a piece of the dried fish in between.
The lion kind of like just continues to back up and sits kind of in the corner.
Oh.
Kind of just staring at you.
Yeah, I'm not. You can come over. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Again, kind of like stumbling over their words, the lion said, "Just leave."
I'm like, okay. Are you trapped here? Do you want out?
That like you see his head kind of like perk up, and the lion like comes forward, says, "Yes."
How long have you been here?
The lion's kind of like looking at the bars, and says to you, "Open."
I look at Nerevar. I'm like, it wants out. You want me to open the bar? Want me to try to open the bars? I just smile. I just smile at Nerevar because I know he's like, open those bars. Don't make me turn this party around.
Tobias looking at Kellisto. There's like a very deep sigh.
I think you should. Well, if you can get him promise not to hurt anyone, I say let him out.
I don't know if he quite understands a lot because his words are really primitive, I guess you could say. I look back, I'm like, if we let you out, will you promise not to eat us?
The lion nods his head.
It's like, well, I got a nod from him saying yes, he promises not to eat us. And somebody go hold on to Flippy.
I'll go stand by Flippy.
Rorax says, I don't think this is a good idea, and Rorax kind of like takes shelter in this bush over here.
Like, he who stands alone gets eaten first.
It's like Merrick says, pfft, and she kind of like is like leaning against one of the obelisks.
So I look at the bars, as Nerevar said, should we let it? Or do we want to go in the temple first?
If anybody does look
let's-
down the main
let's-
pathway, they would see that Ulfgar had lit a light. Just a heads up.
Yeah, we're really enthralled with
Hold
the
on,
lion.
just hold on a minute. We don't know what might happen when we let this lion out.
Okay. Well, I tell it. I'm like,
We
we
might
need
have
to go
something
in.
more than just big feline cat on
Yeah.
on the loose.
Yeah, something had to have gone in these other 3 that are empty. So I look at the lion and I'm like, we need to go in to figure out how to open it. I will be back. So I'll go in. I'll go over here to the entrance and start walking in.
Okay.
I'm like, on Nerevar, let's go see what we can figure out. Let's see how Ulfgar is doing.
All right. So Ulfgar, you're checking out the statue, and you do see that the hands and the feet are like little dishes almost, and they all appear to be kind of damp, moist.
Okay.
Nobody likes that word.
Does it look like they would hold water?
Yes, definitely.
I would manipulate the water again. I would cancel the frozen option on it, and I would use it to manipulate the water onto the 4 paws.
Okay.
Claws, hands.
Are you trying to do this like all at once, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say Ulfgar was the smartest dwarf. He's
Okay.
definitely not the smartest dwarf.
So yeah, you're able to kind of, it takes a fair bit of concentration. You've got these 4 globules of water that you're trying to manipulate into these 4 dishes. But you focus on it and you're able to get this done. The weird thing is though, on 3 of the well, wait, hang on. 3 of the hands and feet, the water just hisses and produces a whole bunch of steam. But on the last one, the water remains.
Okay. Does anything change in the room?
No.
So, okay. I cast Detect Magic.
The whole statue glows.
Do I notice anything about that specific one hand? Claw, paw, whatever you call it.
No, the whole thing is magical.
I do a pan around the room.
You see that the... Hang on. The 4 masks that are painted on the walls also glow, but not very strongly. It's like a fading magic, actually.
All right. I put any remaining water down on the in the corner again, like I did before, and then I use Mage Hand to try and lift a mask off. Ulfgar is like gonna grit his teeth at this.
So wait, hang on though, because they are painted. They're painted on the stone.
Oh, so it's just a painting on there. So you can't lift off a mask or anything like that.
Right.
Oh. Well, I guess he would proceed to walk over to this one and start on the one on the side. And then, just start investigating and seeing what he could find out there, looking at it. And see if there's a way that he can move it, maneuver it, take some part of it to put it in the monkey's paw.
Right, the mask?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or if it's just a door.
So the mask, when you examine it, hang on 1 second, let me just double check this.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I found the monkey. It's a Sioux monster.
Yeah. Okay. You can see when you examine the masks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, make a investigation check for this. Oh, you already did one, I suppose, but that was for.
That was basically just to investigate the center pedestal and then go from
do
there.
one more for me.
Okay.
Please, please, and thank you.
I'm gonna walk into the room while
Eight.
he's staring at the statue.
Okay.
If he hears her coming, he'd look over and say, "Look out! Don't step on the trap!" As he says that, and point at her feet when she comes in. Oh.
I'll stumble away and bump into the bottom part of the pedestal.
So what you do notice,
One moment, Kashcah.
Okay.
For those that are watching, give me a moment and I will adjust the views. Please bear with me. There will be technical difficulties for a brief time. Please continue.
we're discombobulated.
We're being entertained by Nerevar's shadow puppet show.
Can I just... no. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I'm moving you over. You're the first one I'm focusing on here.
Oh, psh.
There you go.
Oops.
Okay, Kashcah is in frame and done.
I can pull silly faces to my heart's content.
I see Nerevar has some kind of shadow puppet show going on. That's great.
It's fine.
Intermission brought to you by Nerevar.
It's like a Yuan Ti shadow puppet, right?
Almost.
Rorax, how are you?
Hang on, we've met some
Hi.
Hi.
That would be Rorax for those that are curious about that voice that just appeared. Welcome.
I'm very late, but
Oops.
hello.
Life happens.
It's okay, we haven't gotten eaten or anything yet. We're alright.
Life finds a way.
Finds a way. Life finds a way. I saw that on he was riding a T-Rex. It was on a t-shirt. It was like a little cartoon of Jeff Goldblum riding a T-Rex, and it said underneath, "Life finds a way." I kind of almost have to have it,
Oh.
Almost there. Almost.
No, you can keep going, Kashcah.
Oh, okay. Well, so you see when you're examining the masks on these little kind of alcove, the opposite side of the alcove, you do see that there are little eye holes actually, it's like they're masks, but you can kind of see through to the other side of, this little side kind of stone walls,
Okay.
where each of the masks are.
I'm like, oh, so what did you find in here so far?
Well, he shouts about don't step on that trap. Watch where you're walking.
I just look at you. I'm like, well, you obviously didn't trigger anything, did you? So you're fine. You're in one piece.
He's like, no, you're lucky that I disabled it, though. And he just kind of looks back and says, something about these masks on the wall is glowing. They're magic. And that paw there, and he points at the monkey. He points at the one that is wet. He says, that one there is the key.
It's this big statue in the middle of the room.
And he points to one paw on it.
Okay, I tell you, the first one has a lion in it, or a big cat, and the other three are empty.
This one here with the picture of the lion, then?
Yes.
That would make sense. He takes a peek through the holes.
He wants out, and I came in here to see if we could figure out a way to open it to let him free.
Now that makes two of us. I want out too.
I walk over to the, what is this one? The boar, right? The second one. I'm gonna put
Mhm.
my face up to the mask and look.
So we're both peeking through eye holes, hoping nobody goes on the other side.
Yeah, I've seen bad things happen in horror movies this way.
Yeah, right. You lose an eye like that. No,
Working
you
it.
see, when you kind of peer through the eye holes in the mask, you see the opposite end of the corridor that you were just looking at from through the portcullis.
Okay. This one's empty. What do you see in yours? Probably see a lion, but you know.
Actually, we're in a Scooby-Doo mansion right now, just so you know. All these paintings have like eyes like following us as we go.
Yeah, if you're looking, Ulfgar, if you're looking through the lion one,
Yeah.
then yeah, you do see, well, you might see the lion moving around in that corridor if you look at it long enough.
There's a wee beastie in there. That's probably the lion you're talking about. I see it moving.
Just a wee beast.
But there's some kind of magic going on these paintings. He'll focus in on the paintings and see if he can figure out what kind of magic it is.
It is transmutation. But it's fading. It's like a fading transmutation.
Fading transmutation.
Mm-hmm.
Says the magic on these masks is weakening. And it's some kind of transmutation. He'll actually aim down the hallway and he'll try sending message to Zagmira.
Okay.
We've got transmutation magics on the walls. Do you think you could come have a look?
Aelia, you see Zagmira kind of roll her eyes and she looks at you and she says, I've been summoned by a dwarf. like in a tone that suggests
They're struggling with the puzzle, aren't they?
Yes, we are.
This is what my life has come to, you know. She says naturally. So in the most condescending tone. Yeah, and she'll kind of, she was leaning against that obelisk and she'll make her way down the hallway.
And Ulfgar would explain that.
I think Aelia will trot after her, actually.
Ulfgar would explain that the magics are fading on these mask symbols, and he's still got the lit up coin in there, of which he just kind of he's holding on to it in his hand as he talks. He says the magic in these is fading, so time's of the essence. We're trying to find out some way of activating this statue, and he points at the monkey and says, "This paw, claw, hand thing here," and he points at the one that did not sizzle, is the key, but I don't know how it interacts with the rest of these masks. Can you identify any of their magics? Or perhaps the transmutation that is how it might interact here.
Zagmira says, I mean,
I know.
well, hang on, actually, let me look and see what she's got. Remind myself of...
He says, mind you know, there's a lion the other side of this one.
She says, I don't think I can do any more than you can, Ulfgar, regarding identifying what the magics do. She says, the only, tool I have to help with this is detect magic, which I believe you are already doing if you know that it's transmutation. Kitty!
Excuse me. So Ulfgar just kind of gives like this frustrated look. Says, well, that's not helpful. And he just looks back at the mask and starts just this like where he's like stroking his beard and really like giving it a good think.
Think.
Which actually isn't helping, because all he's just like, do I stick my fingers through the holes and give it a yank? You know,
Tobias is going to enter the shrine, being bored, waiting too long for you.
He says, finally. And he flips the coin to you that he's got. It's just a copper piece that's got a light spell cast on it.
If we were that bright. Okay, so what do you figure out?
Well, and as he says this, the magical shimmer and the stone-like effects on him both expire.
He's back to being a regular dwarf.
Yes.
Regular dwarf.
And he
Regular
goes,
dwarf.
well,
Okay,
here's hoping I don't need those.
Okay, so you basically tell me that is a transmutation magic, yada yada yada.
There's a monkey with one paw that seems to be the key.
Okay, and I'm telling you that somebody possibly entered the shrine just before us.
Oh,
Because I haven't found tracks at the entrance right after you got in.
they've got the cube.
And I suspect that this lion isn't a lion.
What is it then?
Probably the one who entered the shrine.
You think there's some weird magic? It's trying to fill these little hallways up with the creature.
Those almost abandoned so long ago. There's no way this lion could survive that long in this small space without food.
Well, I would presume that we would represent the food.
There were no tracks, no animal tracks before the entrance. Right.
Let's get out of here. This is not the answer. Can we? Was that who can speak to the lion? Can you ask if it was human or dwarf?
I pointed to Valia.
Lizard
looking
or
at
something.
the ceiling. I'm like, huh?
Was it transformed? Can you ask it if it was a victim of the traps in here? We should exit this room. Let's go.
I can ask it, but it's speaking is very primitive. It's not very good. He's not very smart. Alright, I'll go back out and now walk up to the thing again and call the lion up. And I'll ask it. I suspect
it might be one of the red wizards. Perhaps.
Zegmira says, if it was one of my people, I would know.
Yeah, but he's a lion.
She says, I'm pretty sure all of my people are accounted for.
Like the one who get turned into stone?
Says, well, now I know that they're turned into stone. Yes, they're absolutely accounted for. She does have she actually has a really dark look on her face. Like her brow is knitted and she looks really kind of tense and like she's gritting her teeth a bit. She's not happy. She says, there's only one reason why the cube wouldn't be here.
While she says that, Ulfgar pans his detect magic towards the lion.
Yeah, the lion's definitely been subject to some transmutation.
Great.
I'll ask the lion, hey, do you happen to be human before you became a lion?
The lion sneers at you, kind of peels his lips back.
It's like, I look at Ulfgar, I don't know how to take that as a yes or a no.
Out!
What did you ask it?
The lion says, out!
It just wants out, but I asked if it was a human before it became a lion, and it just wants out. It just keeps repeating out.
Ask it what it was before it came in, and then we'll let it out.
I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions on the lion. I make a gesture toward the lion.
Damn it!
Does it accept, or does it have to? Or will it resist?
It
I
will
suppose
resist.
right?
It will resist. Yeah. Now
So
I have to
against
look
my wisdom, please,
against your wisdom. Hang on.
or charisma, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, but whose charisma?
Your charisma against my wisdom, I think. Hang on, let me double check because
Your whiz.
Oh, it's a wisdom. Hang on.
Wizrisma.
Oh, sorry, that's not wisdom.
Charisdom.
Hang on.
It's a charisdom roll, for sure.
Okay, so now I know. All right, hang on.
Yeah, charisma against my wisdom.
Okay.
So beat of 15.
All right, lion. Rawr.
The lion makes a roll and it devours you whole.
Boop. Fails.
Yes.
Oh, dang it, I have to be calm.
It kind of sits back a little and relaxes its jaw from its previous grimace.
Okay. I
Aelia
look at.
turns to Valia and says, "Ask it again."
Okay. I just nod my head at you, like, thank you. I'm like, okay. We need to find out how you got in there and what were you before you became a lion. Because you are obviously not a lion to begin with.
Lion says, "Not its business." I can't resist. Out.
Well, it is my business if you want out. So answer my questions, or you stay and die.
Says, "I won't die."
I just look at Nerevar. It's like, he says he won't die if we leave him. We know you weren't a lion to begin with, so
He kind of
you might as well
looks
tell
like he's kind of not maintaining eye contact with you when you say, we know you weren't a lion. He's kind of like,
I was like, you're a horrible liar, so can you just go ahead and let me know what I want to know, and we'll let you out. Or I can just kill you while you're in there and eat you, so you take your pick.
Meanwhile, we're all just hearing grumble, grumble, roar, 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 roar. Meow.
Okay, I'm going to grab Rorax.
Ulfgar's going to say, Callisto, are you able to find these tracks that Tobias was talking about? We need to track down who was in here.
Did you shout over the wall? Because I'm over the wall with Flippy.
He'd use his message.
and this is the moment that you all hear a massive T-Rex roar from as close as you've heard it. This is like the closest that it's been so far.
So at the end of that message, as Ulfgar says that, you also hear him suddenly swear very loudly, and I'll translate. It'll be in Dwarvish, but he'll still say, "Oh shit!" really loud, so it kind of blares your ears at the same time.
I look at the lion. I say, do you hear that?
And the lion says, "Sounds like I'm not the only one whose life is in danger."
Oh, we're fine. We're perfectly fine. We've been avoiding that thing for quite a while. You, however, are not fine. So
he takes a claw and points at the bars. And his speech does seem to be it's like he's kind of getting used to his voice. You know. First he was like could barely say, and now he's kind of getting used to speech.
Better.
Yeah.
Okay. I asked Ulfgar, since it I turn my back and I look at Ulfgar. I'm like, well, I have a question for you. Since this thing it's obviously we know she said this was transformed.
And Ulfgar's all like, shh, quiet. Did you not hear?
We'll just go hide in the thing. It'll be okay.
No.
I'm like, so is there a way to unchange it?
There often is. None that I know.
Neither one of you two magic users are powerful enough to unchange it.
I sing
I'd
songs.
say it would be as simple as
chop
taking the mask off.
Well, is it not cooperating?
No, it refuses to tell me anything unless we let it out, and it wants out. That's all it just says. But its speech is getting better, so does that mean it's like acclimating to the new form?
I say it's not going anywhere
But it is
right
lying.
now. It's safe here. Let's come back for it. Let's follow the puzzle trail while we can. The person who's got it. But I don't think we should stay here much longer because we're just luring the freaking T-Rex over here. We can come back for him, and perhaps once we get the other puzzle cube, we'll be able to use it to release this thing. Or, hopefully, person, and not a thing. The thing that I fear it is one of them darn monkeys. Ulfgar gives it like a good old Ulfgar like.
Isn't the monkey god the trickster god by chance?
I think
or
all
bad.
monkeys
Where's
are
he
part
at?
of
He
it.
go hide in the bush?
Well, hang on, because Tobias was grabbing Orvex for.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yes.
What were you grabbing Orvex for, Tobias?
Come on, old man. Your expertise is required.
You're
He says, how can I assist? And he seems to be like cowering a little bit because he says we should be hasty with whatever it is.
In the meantime,
don't sew your pants. Come on.
He says, okay, where are we going?
For now, inside.
Okay.
I told Ulfgar, I'm like, you might want to tell Kellisto and get flipping. We might need to go inside just for a little bit to make sure King of, jerks out there isn't gonna.
I'm right behind you, Valia. It was during the time between when he broadcast to me and you guys were having this conversation, I bought Flippy around.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of like, everybody needs to get inside, and I look at Arokh, I'm like, do your best.
Okay, Orvex, I need you to decipher whatever you can in this room.
As soon as Orvex kind of steps into the room, he starts looking. Oh, intriguing. Yes, most. And he kind of makes his way hastily over to this wall back here. And
just be careful. Don't touch anything.
He says, no. I've learned that lesson from everybody else in this party.
Except for that big red button, you can touch that one.
So he kind of searches round, and there are inscriptions, on the wall and on the statue, and he says, "Oh, this," and he points at kind of the base of the statue, and says, "Old Amuan again, of course." He says, "This says, Wongo's friend knows where to pour the water."
So, Ajax, what does that mean?
Pardon? Could you repeat it again?
Here, I will do even better. I'll put it in the chat.
I have no idea that Orvex could do that. And who is Wongo?
Orvex gestures slowly up at the giant monkey statue.
Don't let me repeat this again.
Who's Wongo's friend?
Orvex shrugs.
I'm not in there, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Aelia asks, so what's the allegory of Wongo? You seem to know them.
He says, "Oh, that is written below this relief here on the wall." He says, "But of course I know it." He says, hang on 1 second. Need to make sure I read the right bit. Okay. So he says that's the story of how Moa. Remember the shrine that we were just at? He says that was Moa, and Moa actually betrayed Wongo to the god Ubtao. So he says this is the story of that betrayal.
Got bit in the face by a snake.
He says, Wongo, or a Sioux monster, broke into Ubtau's palace and stole a pail of water for the Amoans. When the god came running out to find it, the Sioux monster hid the pail in a Jakuli's burrow. Ubtau asked the jungle animals where his water was hidden, and Moa the Jakuli was too honest to lie. When Wongo the Sioux monster found out how Moa had betrayed him, he vowed to catch the Jakuli and eat him. Is Valia in there when he's... Yeah. And
yeah.
when he says eat him, he kind of like looks at Valia.
Like, yeah, we'd get along.
Aelia looks around the room for a snake mask.
Jakuli is the snakes that were in the trees that bit Kellisto and Ulfgar's faces in the previous episode.
This is a Jakuli.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey.
Excuse me.
Okay, so
Spiked danger noodles.
So we can.
So is there a mask for that in the room?
There is not.
It's a mask for a lion, a warthog, a zebra, and a vulture. They're all paintings. They're all faded. Ulfgar says, "What y'all doing going inside? Somebody's made off with the cube. We've got to follow him. The magic's done here."
Ulfgar, you're a smart lad.
But you're definitely not bright enough. Than your coin.
I can't seem to figure out how you haven't pieced this together yet.
Pieced what together?
The lion. The lion is the one that made off with the cube.
It's right. But he said that... Wait, I thought that the footprints led off. Not into there. So the lion's got it.
Is that true? And she turns to Tobias.
That's my suspicion.
The tracks are leading away.
And then explain why it wants out. So
The tracks are leading away.
Well, I smelled it going in and out of each of those rooms, but I couldn't tell if it left or not. It could have arrived, it could have left. I mean, there was something coming in or coming out, but I don't know which direction.
Nonetheless, that lion isn't really lion.
Oh yeah, we've gotten that part.
We are sure that's that's someone.
It's a bad liar. It definitely confirmed that it's been transformed into said lion. So the fun part is, how are we gonna get in there without letting it out?
What do we need to get in there for? To
kill it.
Wait, why do we need to kill things? It's fine. It just wants us to leave. Wait, it's got the cube? I thought...
Yes.
Alright, who tracked the humanoid footprints round?
Tobias and I.
Okay, so where did the tracks end?
They didn't.
What do you mean they didn't? They just kept going in circles.
Well, I don't know what tracks, but as far as the scent,
yeah,
it went in and out of all the rooms, but I couldn't tell whether it actually left or if the tracks coming into the area or the smell in the entrance of the temple was him coming or going.
And tracks were leading towards the shrine. Towards the building.
When I had when I used my detect magic on the lion, was I just picking up the lion, or was I actually picking up a cube as well?
Wait, what?
When
Say
I
again?
had used Detect Magic on the lion,
Yeah.
did I see a cube in its possession?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Actually, you didn't see anything else magical on the lion.
Ulfgar says, I didn't see any magic cube on the lion. Nothing
But
like that.
Cubes aren't magic.
Oh,
When we
right.
detect magic cubes, those
He
are
goes,
the wrong
right,
ones.
it was the wrong ones. Oh, crud.
Ah,
He's like, alright, so you want to let it out. Alright, fine. And he'll just suddenly cast his magic spell to move the
wait.
water, and he'll put it just in the one paw claw.
I mean, it's already got water in it, right,
Oh,
from
okay.
last time. But yeah, you add more water to it.
He says, that's the claw there. It's supposed to open things, I guess. I don't know. It's the key to doing this. Apparently Wongo knows.
Okay, Kashcah, could you repeat the description of the room?
Yeah. Let me grab it. So this room that you are standing in, a 10-foot tall stone statue of an evil-looking monkey balances on its tail atop a stone dais in the middle of this 20-foot high chamber. The statue's limbs are all splayed, right, with hands and feet cupped. On the wall behind, that's back here, right? Right, hang on. Oh, that's Orvex, sorry. I'm like, who's that? On the wall behind, a sculpted relief shows a monkey-like creature tearing into a giant serpent. Cuneiform inscriptions are carved above and below the relief. That's what Orvex translated into the story of Wongo and Moa. And then 4 masks of painted stone protrude from the walls. That's these bits here, right? These 4 bits. They depict the heads of a lion, zebra, boar, and a vulture. And that's all you got.
Ah, so that's what we need. We need to get the head of the lion in its paw.
Here, kitty. Here, kitty. Just need your head.
Ulfgar pulls Bob out very gently and goes,
It's like Labyrinth. Don't lose your head.
Wongo's friend knows where to pour the water.
So basically, the opposite of what the snake did. And giving the water to Wongo.
Wait, so what? So then, do we not give it water? I could take the water back out.
Try to fill all the paws
I did.
with the water.
I did. The other 3 sizzle, and the water evaporates off of it. Of course, I've only done it all at once, or just once into the one paw. And he kind of like fingers a little bit on the handle of Bob and goes, I hate puzzles. Oh, I hate puzzles. And he starts like taking the water out and splashing it one at a time in each different paw.
Yep.
Starting with
It
one.
still sizzles.
Yeah.
Like, it just produces steam.
Those question. Those arms are directed in some directions, or they're just like depicted randomly.
They're not like pointing anywhere. But there are, 2 either side. Yeah, because he's kind of got the monkey very strangely has his feet kind of flipped up and cupped as well.
Ulfgar walks over to the mask, kind of like where the lion is,
Okay,
Kind of
and
bangs the
which
end of the
arm-
battle axe on there and goes, "Hey, you in there? Are you Wongo's friend? Where do you pour the water?" Sorry, go on.
You hear a growl from the other side.
I would like to know in which direction is pointed the arm that holds the water.
It's on this side of the statue.
And that's the vulture mask.
I mean, it's not really pointing in a direction, but it is on like that side of the statue. So it's on the monkey is actually facing in this direction. So it's like it's its left hand.
You said that the monkey's paw was moist originally, yeah?
They're all moist.
But yet 3 of them, while moist, sizzle water.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I suppose if you look down in the cup of the hand, they're probably kind of dry, but there's definitely like moisture around the hand itself.
Can we hear the allegory?
Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Need to grab.
It's in the chat.
No, that's not the allegory.
So a Sioux monster broke into Ubtau's palace and stole a pail of water for the Amuans. When the god came running to find it, the Sioux monster hid the pail in a Jakuli's burrow. Ubtau asked the jungle animals where his water was hidden, and Moa, the Jakuli, was too honest to lie. When Wongo the Sioux monster found out how Moa had betrayed him, he vowed to catch the Jakuli and eat him.
I was hoping there'd be a description of which hand he took that with.
Nope.
And eat them.
Ulfgar. Aelia looks at the statue and looks at the mouth. Is the mouth open?
Of the statue. Let me check. I don't think it is. Nope, it's not.
You just see Aelia stomp a hoof, like, in frustration.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of smiling like a toothy smile, but there's no, like, opening in the mouth. Like an evil toothy smile, you know?
How about this depiction?
That is a depiction of the story. So it shows a Sioux monster basically eating a Jakuli. Delicious and nutritious.
That must be Wongo's friend.
Something off? Anything loose?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation +5.
You are confident that this carving is entirely normal. You don't find any loose bits or hidden tokens or anything like that.
So the masks are lion on the left, vulture on the right, and what were the other two?
It's a zebra and a warthog. It actually goes lion. If I go counterclockwise, it goes lion, warthog, zebra, vulture.
Yep.
Which one of those would be Wongo's friend?
Isn't well, that was the question, is Wongo the one in the middle? Or is that Wongo's?
Wongo is the monkey in the middle, yes.
Does the statue move? Can you like turn it?
Nobody's touched it as of yet.
Yeah, I'll walk over to it and I will grab one of the limbs, see what happens.
Which one?
The one closest to me over here, one at the bottom, the feet.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of grab the leg and the foot and give it a shove to try and turn it or rotate it. Just move it in general. Nothing happens.
I'm like, nope, can't be moved.
Can't be moved.
What would be friends with a monkey?
Well, not me, that's for sure.
A Jakuli.
Well, there
Snake.
isn't one.
Well,
Does
there was
anything catch
previous...
snakes in particular? Like, does a warthog catch snakes? Vulture?
Vulture would.
When Ulfgar says a Jakuli, or you see Orvex just let out this big sigh and like this shake of the head, like there's no hope for the dwarf at all.
None.
Aelia points to the vulture and the zebra and says, "Those are the only two animals I'm familiar with, and I guess why that's important is because they are tend to be plains animals. They can be found in my native lands. I am not familiar with them in this jungle."
We do see a boar though in the jungle.
Well,
Do lions appear in the jungle?
they appear in temples.
That's what seems odd with this building, because there are depicted animals that aren't native to the child.
Zagmira pipes up from in the corridor and says, "Why are we still here?"
Because we need the cube, darling.
Ulfgar says that there's speculation that this lion creature in the side here has the cube, and we're trying to open the gates to get into it or let it out so that we can investigate, get the puzzle cube from it.
It's like, and by the way, it's not a real lion.
And potentially change it back into whatever form it was before, assuming it's not some kind of froggy myth.
She kind of motions to you, Valia. "You look strong. You can't open the gate?"
I point back and I say, "You look tasty, old and frail."
Tobias,
I said,
can your spells bend the metal?
She says, "I'm not sure
I
what the
tell
point
her
is."
I honestly haven't tried to open it because everybody stopped me before I could.
Open it. Let's kill it.
Yeah, I also tell her that. I'm like, if I open that, I'm killing it. So, take a pick.
She says, "I still don't understand why we're still here." She says, "You think the lion has the cube?"
Well, it's not a lion. It's lying about being a lion.
Ulfgar said there were tracks leading somewhere. Wait, weren't you all like getting a bit all in a tuss there?
We established that the tracks led in.
Aye, but didn't you get all in a bit of a tizzy when there were some other tracks mentioned? And he points a finger at Zagmira when he says that.
She says, "My concern is that the tracks," and she motions to Kellisto. She says, "I believe you said that the scent was coming and going from the whole area." She says, "including the corridors." So she says, "I think it's already gone."
And Ulfgar just kind of like raises both hands and then drops them at both sides.
I just walk out at this point back over to the thing and look at the bars. I'm gonna just start inspecting them.
Aelia points at Kellisto and says, I'd like to point out that when the Druid changes form, so does all their stuff.
Okay.
So we don't know whether the cube is on the lion or not because the cube changed with the lion.
I'm slow. Yes, I get that now.
So
Like,
Zagmira says, so if she kills the lion while it's the lion, are you expecting to get the cube back?
Aelia turns to
Most
Kellisto and says,
likely
do you
not."
change back if you die as a druid?
usually, I think so, don't I? No, yeah. If I get hurt too much as an animal, I turn back into. Yes, I turn back into myself.
Zagmira says, so you think the lion is a druid?
No, we think
no.
the same magic.
We think that.
Or I
lion,
think it's the same magic. I should take ownership of that.
We think that lion is the victim of this place magic.
She says, well, one easy way to find out. Let's murder it and food and cube. She says,
Can you fit a fireball through the bars?
she says, probably. Can fit my hands through the bars.
Have at it.
And how
Wow.
are you going to go inside after you will be done?
She says to the group inside, I think your friend is already solving that part of the puzzle.
I'm gonna start messing with the bars out.
Ulfgar
Yeah,
looks
and
at
I-
Kellisto and says, I don't think some bars have ever stopped the likes of Kellisto before.
Yeah, and I say, I can't believe Valia missed this whole conversation. I think she just found her soulmate.
Zagmira makes her way out of the corridor and is kind of standing back,
Oh,
looking at Valia. Or
I
Rex is
look
like,
at her. I'm like, well, I said when I open this, if I can get this open, it's gonna jet out of here. So can you be ready to either like trap it, slow it down, kill it, whatever we're gonna do with it.
yep, you see she starts kind of conjuring with her spells, and she's kind of, you can see her making the motions of a spell.
Okay.
She says, I'm ready.
Ulfgar's like, everybody out the building, you never know what kind of
I'm gonna
structural
start
damage this
pulling
might
at bars.
have.
I don't like this. We do kill, but we only kill in self-defense. But that feels wrong.
Tobias, I would like to point out that Valia did give the lion the option.
Yeah, but that might be.
Unlike yourself, to a certain stone wizard.
There was no.
Getting hot in here, or is it just me?
Aelia has very low charisma. She doesn't pull punches.
Alright, Valia, what you doing?
I'm trying to pull the bars, like trying to open these bars, pull them, or however I can get them off. I look inside and I look at the lion. I'm like, are you ready to come out?
Is Orbex coming out of the building?
Yeah, Orvex is like trying to choose a good spot. You see him kind of, again, take shelter in shrubbery and behind stonework.
Actually, Ulfgar's going to be over here, and he's going to look up in the tree and make sure there's no Jaculis in it.
There are no Jaculis in the tree.
Yeah, Arokh is still perched.
Yep.
I'm
So-
standing between the lion and.
Actually, he's kind of lying on this wall.
Does this
Second.
create like a fire
Good.
cone coming back out?
I can push, drag, or lift 400 up to 450 pounds. So, I'm trying to push the bars aside.
So when you start pushing, you get the kind of a very quick understanding that the spikes of the portcullis are down in the ground.
Right.
So you think that pushing is really not going to do it. So you start trying
I'll
to...
try to lift it. I'll try different ways.
Okay. So you try like prying them apart, and they're just the bars are too thick to do that with. So you try lifting it, and you can get it like to move up a little bit, but these things are heavy as fuck. And you lift it, and you're able to kind of get it to move a bit, but it's just too heavy for you to grab by yourself. The lion is just kind of standing, staring towards you.
I look at it, I'm like, you could help, maybe, if you want out. Do you know if there's a lever? Surely these things race somewhere.
Fulcrum release lever.
The lion shakes his head.
I stop for a minute and, I'm like rubbing my hands. And I'm like, well, I said these things are a lot rough, a lot heavier than I thought they would be. So there's got to be a lever somewhere to open. Anybody else want to try to help, or do we want to look around for another lever?
Aelia wanders over and takes a look at the portcullis. Is there a bar across the bottom before the spikes?
There is...
Is it just spikes?
It's just spikes.
Are they metal or stone?
They are metal.
Callisto. No. Yeah, maybe. What do you have? Maybe heat
I'm
metal
not going in
or
there
something?
with him.
Oh
Not
no,
going in
we
there.
don't need to go in. Does anybody have like a heat metal or something that can melt?
Aelia points to the dwarf.
Everybody just looks at Ulfgar slowly.
And he just kind of is like, huh? What? What's everybody looking at me for? I thought you were gonna just put your hand through the bar and shoot the thing. Put it out of its misery.
The Vesmina goes back into the shrine.
Okay.
And
Aelia turns to Zegmir. Well, are you gonna put your hands through the bars and burn the poor sod?
I just kind of giggle.
She says, sure.
Tobias is gonna see the fire come through the eyes at the other side.
So she has the spell readied. Tobias, what are you up to inside?
I will try to taste the water in the monkey's hand.
Oh, okay.
I'll try to take a sip.
Okay. Tastes like fresh, actually.
It's wet.
Strangely fresh water. Like you would expect it to be kind of stagnant in here, but it's not at all.
Nothing changed?
No, you don't become a Sue monster. So Zagmira approaches the bars, and she's already kind of been readying this spell, and seeing her approach the bars, the lion literally like scrambles to the back of the area and is roaring basically to those of you who are not speak with animals folks. Valia, you still have speak with animals going on, or?
Yeah, I can still use it.
Okay.
I'll cast mine so I can understand as well.
The lion is saying, no, please don't. You don't have to kill me. Please, no.
I just laugh. I'm like, tell me what I want to know, and this won't have to happen. I put my arm on Zagmir. I'm like, hold on, just one second.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, Mary can't understand that. Okay. The lion says, "What do you want to know?"
I've asked you several times. Who are you? How did you get here? And by chance, do you have a little cube?
He says, "If I tell you these things, you'll release me?"
Yes, we'll actually let you go for real this time and not kill you.
He says, I work for Rasnasi. Says, I do not have what you seek.
How did you get in here?
He says, Rasnasi sent us to retrieve the cube, and they left me when the trap was triggered.
So they took the cube.
His lion nods his head.
I look, well, there you go, everybody. Let's go. They took the cube.
The lion rushes
Who
forward.
took the cube?
He works for our friend Rasnasi.
The lion rushes forward. You promised!
I look at everybody, and I'm like, well, what do you think? I did tell him we would let him out, but I mean, seeing who he works for and now that he knows we're here, this isn't a good idea. I don't know what we should do. I look at what's her name? The magic he says. Don't get me wrong, I'm all up for killing it, but
Did you find out what kind of creature it was before?
I don't really care at this point. After he told me that he works for Rasnasi, I don't care what he was or is.
I'm sure Rasnasi's had slaves before. Perhaps this is one of them.
He said he was with a group and they left him behind because he got they triggered the trap, obviously, and he got caught. They left him behind.
Well, maybe he'll come help with us. Besides, you made a promise.
Zagmira says, if they've left him behind, I don't need to waste a spell on his death. I'd rather save it. If we're going to retrieve the cube from Rasnasi, we'll certainly need it.
Yeah, you have a point. I look at Tobias as he comes out. I'm like, well, he gets to live. You get what you wanted.
The rest of you hear you can hear the lion kind of roaring from inside, and anybody who has speak with animals just hears him shouting, "You promised! You promised you'd release me!"
I'll turn back in the cage and I'll tell him, what's to say we release you and you don't go right straight back to your camp and tell them that we're here looking for the same thing. We don't need that right now.
He says, you think I'd go back to the people who betrayed me? He says they left me here to die.
Where will you go?
Can I do a check on that, like bluff or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do an insight check.
Insight?
It
insight,
is.
Yeah.
I'll do one or two.
So you feel like he's being honest about like being betrayed by them, but he does seem to be kind of holding back a little bit.
Aelia says he's not giving us all the truth. Wait, I shouldn't even be able to insight check him.
Oh yeah,
Sure,
you're right.
Animal.
Yeah.
I thought you had some
Valia
kind of
can,
ability.
though.
I didn't know the same thing.
Yeah, so Valia, that's kind of your result.
So Ulfgar says, so how are you going to get it out of there? Oh, shoot. We just lost her.
Oh, no.
We're never going to
there she
find
is.
out.
There we go.
So how...
Alright, my Discord died on me.
It's alright. So Ulfgar says, so how are you going to get it out of there?
Well, to be fair, it's not really telling us the truth on whether it's going to go back to the camp or not. It says it won't, but I look at it. By the way, what were you before you were a lion? Are you a human? Are you one of those crazy humans going around raising the dead?
He says, I cannot raise the dead, but to you I
That's
might
good.
appear human.
You might appear human? Why would you go work for that guy anyway? Like, seriously.
Health benefits.
The lion just says to you, liar, and just slinks off back into the
I
corner.
was like, well, I just wave. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really hurt my feelings much.
Ulfgar says, so you're just going to go smash the wall with your hammer there? I'm sure it'd just take a few swings, probably get itself out after that.
I don't think we should let it out. I know I told it I would, but like I said before, I don't feel comfortable letting him out. We're already running from a T-Rex out here as it is. So we don't need a whole gaggle of undead folk or undead, worshippers after us too.
Aelia pipes up and says, I am not keen to support the life of someone who so readily abuses the rules of life and death.
Well, I suppose they've been imprisoned. That seems just.
We can
Aelia
leave him
gives
a little bit
small
of
nod.
dried food and water and hope maybe he can figure out a way out. I mean, we're not leaving him with... I look at Nerevar. This is your idea to let it live. What do you want to do?
Well, it did tell us to just leave originally.
Yeah, it did. And it also told me in the beginning that it wouldn't die. When I threatened to leave it here and let it die, and it said it wouldn't die. So there's that. So, and it told me it would only it would appear as human to me in its real form. So maybe it's
Aelia
actually...
just wanders up to the bars and can I use Eyes of the Grave and look at the lion?
Yeah, you certainly can. The lion does not have any undead aura about it.
Aelia says, it's not undead in any way. It's not.
Well, if it was before, maybe it's not now. With the transformation that has happened upon it.
Zagmira says, why are we still here?
You're right, Zagmira. Let's find the camp that obviously has the cube.
And Ulfgar kind of like goes close to the portcullis and says, don't worry. She'll be back to let you out in the end. She'll set you free. And
You hear a low growl from the end of the corridor.
We might send him to Valendra.
What would she want with a transformed lion?
The lion suddenly gets up and walks forward to Ulfgar, and there's a series of kind of growls and snarls.
And he just kind of raises an eyebrow, and it then looks back over at Tobias and says, "What would Valendra want with a lion? I'm sure she didn't really enjoy the refugees we sent her before. Imagine if we sent her a lion."
The lion actually stands up, puts his paws on the bars and stands up, and he's got this big fluffy belly. It looks so soft and you just want to give it scritches. But he stands up with his paws on the bars, and you hear him give almost the exact same series of kind of growls and snarls.
And he says, "Look at that. I think she'd right promptly kill me if I ended up sending something like that through the port ladder.
I
Would
look
someone
at
tell
him.
us what he's saying?
Yeah, I'm just listening. What is he saying? I'm like, I look at him weird, and I kind of just reach to the bar and scratch its belly with one.
Callisto's hearing too, by the way.
So he says, I have an idea. In exchange for my life, I can show you the secret way.
Interesting. And I'm still scratching its belly. I'm like, he says he can make a deal with us and show us a secret way if we let it out.
The lion has the most awkward look on his face possible. Like, I'm begging for my life, and this lizard lady is scratching my belly. I don't even know what to do with this. He says, yes, there's a secret entrance, and I can show you how to get there. And I can show you what the tunnels to take beyond that.
He says he's got a secret entrance and some secret tunnels to go. Where are we going exactly? I look at the lion and tell him, where would we be going? To the camp that you were at?
He says, yes. He says, Rasnasi has the cube now. If you want it back.
You hear me just
if
mutter
only I
out
understood
a
lion.
four-letter. You just hear me mutter out a four-letter F word. I'm like, and I look at everybody. I was like, Rasnasi has the cube currently, but he says he can show us the secret passage to get to him.
Let's do it. I want to kill some necromancers.
Oh, right.
I look at the lion. I still scratch his belly. I'm like, look, okay, we can do this. But the first time, I'm trying to be all serious. With one finger. I said, but the first time you betray us, you see that lady that was gonna roast you and we were gonna eat you. She'll do it, and I'll eat you.
I would like to use Insight check to see if I can detect if those lion growls are questionable lion growls, or if I can
I'm
trust
not allowing
them.
that.
I'll take double the disadvantage on that too.
Oh, double disadvantage. DC is 20. Go for it. Double disadvantage.
I have
I
plus 0.
I pull out a couple scraps of leather. I said, but you have to wear this. It's like a leash. I can make it into a leash.
Did you? I was about to say, did you just offer it a thong?
It's a lion-sized thong. So I look at everybody. I'm like, I can make this into a harness where you can keep it on a leash.
The lion kind of drops back down and backs up a little bit, like he's waiting for the door to be opened. Like, yep, let's go. Let's do this.
Everybody, and I start while I'm waiting for everybody's response. I'm gonna start fashioning this thing into like a lead.
Well, you already have mine.
Anybody else?
Yeah, still there's one itty bitty tiny thing. How we are going to let this thing out?
Well, I guess clearly I'm gonna have to go in and smash the wall because these bars aren't budging.
Here's the problem, though. You start smashing, starts making a lot of noise.
Do you think stone will be more obedient?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I get your point too with Featherhead out there, but we don't have a choice. We can't get him out. We haven't seen a lever. There's no way to open it. They triggered the trap, so we can't undo it. Before I head off, I'll just hold up the little harness that I made. I'm like, you have to put this around your neck, and that way we can keep, make sure you're not gonna stray.
Listen, Ulfgar. These necromancers, they are responsible for the undead plague in this place, right?
As so much as we've survived, yes.
Mira looks shiftily off to the side.
It's
and
Orvex.
I recently lost a very good friend to the undead.
We all have.
I would like to get some vengeance. So I'm not concerned with a little noise.
Right. I'm going to suggest that we all get inside then. So that if we do attract attention, it'll have a bit of a time trying to get to us at least.
Okay, that's not going to be helpful.
Did you say something's not going to be helpful?
I was checking if I could do something, and that thing, I could do it, but it wouldn't help. So,
Alright, so Ulfgar goes inside.
So I've been looking through my notes to see if
Ooh.
any of us picked up any acid. I haven't found any in mine. I just was wondering if anyone else required, to cut through those.
Nerevar,
No.
didn't you pick up some acid at some point?
Yeah, you took a little vial, I recall.
Nobody else knows, though. I think only he knows.
secret acid. Secret acid.
I tried to sample the acid from the prayer shrine, but it didn't work.
Ooh.
I just wanted to know if anyone had better notes, but I didn't see anything in mine to help in any way, shape, or form. I could possibly turn into, and this is what I'm saying out loud. I guess I'm in the temple with you. I could possibly turn into a workhorse. Do you think maybe I could break them? If I pull on them hard?
Break what?
Well, that was
The
my
bars?
idea, but we'd need a way to pull using our strength, and there was no bar to tie something to.
I thought those were bars.
They're vertical bars. Ulfgar,
Yeah,
I have an idea. We were following this thread before, but we got distracted. You can heat metal, can you not?
Aye.
Aelia holds out her spear. Remember, I replaced my spear with one of the statue spears a while ago. It's metal. If we heat the bars at the front, do you think I could pry them apart? Could be quiet.
It makes it hot to hold, not necessarily heated enough to smelt with. It's more or less just something that I learned along the way to help get it past that edge of smelting something.
Aelia looks disappointed.
I mean, as much as I could try, it would injure you to hold on to it, but I don't think that it would be enough to perhaps.
Well, that's why I thought I would use my
smelt it.
spear to try and pry it open.
We could give it a go. I've not exactly tried it in this kind of situation before, but it's not hot enough for me to actually use to smelt with, unless it's a very soft metal, like gold or copper.
We can try. And Aelia starts moving out the front, expecting Ulfgar to follow.
Yep, he'd trundle along.
Can I like thoroughly investigate the room, looking for like little mouse holes or anything? Like anything?
Yeah, give me an investigation check, please.
Okay. Never mind.
So Ulfgar would say, "This will take me a few minutes if you don't mind. I just want to make sure that I don't use up the resources that I have at hand." So he would ask for a good 10 minutes to perform the ritual.
So he's going to stand there with his hands on the bars for 10 minutes.
No, not on the bars, but more or less, yes. I believe, what is it that he needs for it? I thought that
A piece of iron and a flame are the components.
Yep. So he would start with that. he's got iron on him for sure, you know. And a bit of fire. So
Take a stud off your armor.
He just needs it as a focus. He doesn't need to use that up. But then he's got like a little bit of one of those like little tinder bits on one of his necklace. So he'd be sparking that on the what do you call it, the bars themselves along with it.
Okay. So
Wait a second, is that actually? I don't think it is.
what?
It is not a ritual spell, so he just casts it. Done. Okay. It's a combat spell. I'm like, wait a minute, why would he be doing a ritual combat spell? So he casts it, and I can actually put it in chat. It is a 2nd level spell. So, I mean, basically, it just reads that it heats the metal, and targets will take advantage if they're holding it or wearing it.
So what I'm looking at says you cause the object to glow red hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you do see immediately, Aelia, that the bars that Ulfgar has cast on are glowing like red hot, like they're very hot. Hot metal.
Are we going to wait till the end of the 10 minutes?
No, it's he actually can't do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Then Aelia will say, "Step aside, please," and then she'll shove her spear between the bars, and lean the spear up against, for leverage, up against the red hot bar, and then she'll push her weight into. Like, she's not going to push it with just her hand. She's going to, like, sidle against it with her entire weight and push against the bars.
Okay.
With her spear, which I think is either bronze or I can't remember what you said it was. I think it was bronze.
Oh, yep, I know the one. Okay. So the metal is red hot, and does seem it when you push against it with all your kind of strength and weight behind it. Actually, can you maybe give me a strength check, please?
I guess while they're doing that, you may go ahead and just start bashing this little piece.
Meanwhile, it's a massive thunk. So you are able to get some kind of, the bars do kind of pry apart a bit with your efforts. And there's a lion sitting on the other side of the bars, just sitting watching.
Do they pry apart enough to free the spike from the bottom?
Yep, I see what you're up to. I'll say yes, you can get one of them out.
Alright, now all we need is a Valia. Or a rope. And she starts checking her bag for a rope because she can't remember whether she has one.
You hear from inside the sound of metal on stone.
Someone stop her.
So Valia, you're smashing the wall with your hammer?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You do start to kind of, like, are you aiming for the mask, or are you...
Yeah, probably about the weakest point of it, yeah, right in the middle.
Okay. So yeah, your first couple of hits, you break away chunks of the stone that were painted. They kind of splinter and shatter, and fall all over the place, to be frank. When you hit it, they kind of go flying. So there's splinters of stone flying around, and you can see a crack actually right between, like, the eyes of the mask. It cracks, and you think, like, another good hit, and that bit will kind of break inwards.
Hey Valia, we could use your help outside.
God damn it.
Like, 4, I'm busy.
Right, that's what we need you for, is to help pull on one of these iron bars.
Didn't we try that already?
Well, we kind of heated it and bent them a whole bunch, and they're a lot more movable now.
Oh, now you heat it after I asked you earlier, and you... Okay. It's like grumble, and I walk down, and I'll go out.
Mm-hmm.
give it. Like, where do you want me to pull?
Aelia points to the bar that has the spike free. Pull on that one.
Okay. I guess I will try to get a grip and pull.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Oh,
It just rips right off.
I mean, the power falls off, you know.
It just touches it and it just
So
falls.
yeah, it's mine. So your goal with this, you were pulling. Well, can you describe like what you were doing with this bar?
Yeah, I was just looking at Ulfgar grumbling about him using the heat metal, and I just kind of wrapped my hands around it. I'm like, see, so if you'd done this when I asked you and just pull it straight up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Valia makes it look like it's made of like, you know, balsa wood or something. You know, it just kind of almost snaps away in her hand. Yeah, and Valia, you have this metal spike now.
I look at Aelia. I'm like,
Weapon,
look,
new
this would
weapon.
make a good spear.
Good weapon.
It's a little
It's a
bit
bit
bit heavy. Yeah, a little heavy, a little bit like longer than your javelins, but
It's a bit thick.
Well, I'll just toss it onto the ground. Next.
Can the lion fit through now? Or do you want to break off another one?
I don't know. Can he fit through?
it looks like it's not quite big enough for his head to. You could probably slink his body through. You know how cats have those very pliable kind of bodies that can slink around.
Cats are liquids.
Yeah, except for their noggins and.
Yeah, they get their heads stuck.
Yep. Yeah, and it doesn't quite look big enough for his head.
Aelia
We're gonna
points
have
to
to do the other.
the second bar that was bent but probably not quite free from the ground.
Mhm.
I'll try that one again, or try that one.
Can you give me one more strength check? Oh my god, are you serious?
Wow.
We apparently just like wrecked the structure of this thing by
I
heating it
quit.
in soup.
Well, there goes all my
You
good
can't
rolls.
melt
so-
steel beams.
So you just you do the same thing again, and you guys are just like.
I used my special ability to shoot like jet fuel on these. Obviously, instantly
yeah.
melted.
I just toss it aside. I'm like, come on, let's get this leash on you. I pull out the leather pieces that I put together.
Yeah, so the lion will make his way forward and kind of tilts his head to slip through, and then the rest of his body just kind of slinks through between. And he'll stand dutifully, but with his head kind of dropped a little bit as you put the leather strap around his neck. It just looks so like, oh my god, this is like removing the last tiny bit of dignity that I had.
I just pat him on the back. I was like, well, look at it this way. You're not going to be stuck in there forever. So, once we get to where we need to go, and we're sure that you're not going to rat us out or, whatever, get us killed, we'll let you go.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, can y'all go get Nerevar and can y'all go get Tobias and Callisto so we can get on our way before Big Feather Brain comes and gets.
Ulfgar doesn't bother going down the hallway. He just calls both of it. Hey, we've got the lion out. Come on outside. Let's get out of here.
Okay, I got.
And he repeats the same for Tobias.
Okay. So, is there anything else anybody wants to do at this shrine before we move on?
Nope, I just hold out the leash thing to Tobias and say, here you go.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think that lion is probably, make a plaything out of Tobias.
Ulfgar says, Valia, I think it suits you better. Besides, I know you like to have your food within reach.
I mean, this is true, but okay. Fine, I said, sorry, buddy, you're stuck with me.
I'll watch over Flippy.
Yeah, it's probably best to keep him at a distance. Sorry, Flippy.
Okay, but My final concern is that what happens if the lion leaves the bones of the shrine?
I
What?
don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Bye.
Then you get a pet human on a leash.
I mean, yeah.
Oh no.
This is going all kinds of wrong.
Stop king shaming. It's wrong.
What did I do with those manacles?
Oh boy. Okay, so we're done with the shrine, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
So
Let's go back to the main map.
nothing happens to the lion?
You exit the boundaries, and lion stays a lion.
Shame.
She ain't lying. But the lion still is.
So the lion definitely seems to be leading you, Valia, if you'll follow.
Yep. I'm like, well, I guess he's gonna lead us to where we need to go, so let's go. Tread carefully.
Okay. So you spend kind of the rest of the afternoon, well, unless anybody's going to kind of stop the lion or do anything different, the lion will just lead you where it wants to, basically. So, I don't know. Anybody want to do anything different? Except be led around Oma by a lion?
Oh, I like this plan.
I giggle. I giggle and I tell Aelia, I was like, could you imagine putting Ulfgar on the back of this lion? How funny.
Aelia actually laughs.
Ulfgar turns back and says, actually, I'm known for riding in the bear cavalry in the past, I'll have you know.
We go.
And the great charge we did back in the 1242. He just keeps going.
I elbow the lion. I'm like, could you like roar at him or something?
The lion does. He just turns around and then Ulfgar, there's a lion roaring in your face. You just get all this lion spit on your face. It's like killing you.
He says, if you want to have a shouting match, I can give you one. And he just kind of like tries to be a bit intimidating as best he can. But he says, I would appreciate it if you'd all just keep a bit quieter, since we're still trying to keep a low profile, thank you.
Okay, so lion
I think
leads
this
you.
King of Feathers is a myth.
We've been hearing it in the distance there.
Yes, but have we actually ever seen it?
Just a giant speaker on the mountain. Giant PA system.
This is just like an episode of Lost, really.
Yes, exactly.
A smoke monster.
Yep.
No, didn't we see him at one point? Or no, the bag of the cat guy, the bag of nails guy said he saw him.
Yeah. Do we really trust that thing?
Yeah, no. Yeah, he was really weird. I think he had a couple of sniffs too many of catnip.
He was just a lonely old man.
Could you imagine what he'd say if he saw us with this? He'd try to kill it, but, you know, that's beside the point.
So I suppose we're still moving while this conversation is happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where is it that we were headed?
So you're heading south at the moment.
No, please tell me it's not going to be the hole.
Like, this way?
Yep.
Same way we were going before?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you don't stop the lion, you will end up kind of down here by the tree bridge.
Okay, I'm like, remember that time when we were here and we got shot at? It was horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't remind me.
I was like, Aelia, you might want to hide behind the lion this time. I think you are about
Gladly.
the same size.
Ulfgar walks out front. It says, he never shoots at me, it's fine.
I just shake my head. I'm like, well, lead the way, Captain.
He crosses the bridge and picks up the pace because he doesn't like crossing the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, nothing eventful happens crossing the bridge. And the lion leads you kind of north a bit around the causeway, and then along the east. You pass the shrine that had already been looted. Yeah.
We're going for the hole.
I think we're going to the hole.
So
I look down, I'm like, Lion, if we're going to this hole, I'm not gonna be very happy.
So it is getting kind of probably a little late in the afternoon now, and you're standing at the crossroads here.
Can we stay in this? What was in this building?
That was one of the temples.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know that one's safe. We've already been in it.
We didn't leave all the
No,
temples safe.
That temple is the one with the little vicious meat-eating bears.
Yep, the little nerebears. We don't like the
Oh,
nerebears
that's right.
because they wanted to eat us.
Yeah.
Glad somebody remembers which one's which.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh. Yeah, no, let's not
How
go
can
to
I
that
forget the nerebears?
The
The nerebears care to give the nerebears stare.
I'm like, well, we
Their
should
best day
probably
goes down in
read.
history.
Yeah, we
But
should
you better not
probably
fear.
rest somewhere.
Why don't we just take refuge in one of these buildings here?
The lion is pulling.
He doesn't want to take. He doesn't want to stop.
What time of day is it?
It's like late afternoon.
I say
Right.
we keep going.
We doing this then?
See what's up.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
So yep, sure enough, the lion leads you kind of between the buildings to the Hole of Doom, I think is what that's labeled as now.
Oh no! Do you remember what I sent down here?
No. What did you send down here?
The baby giant crocodile thing.
You took them all the way over here. No wonder it took you days to get back. You...
Yeah.
Yes.
They're probably still down there.
Probably
Eating
all
away at
making
whatever's
friends.
Either that or they're undead baby alligator giant evil snapping creatures now.
Ah, it's enough of that. I'm tired of things eating me. How big is this hole?
I pat this lion. I'm like, guess who gets to go first?
No, we're not having a lion warning people.
Okay, I mean, then you can go first and get eaten first.
Yeah, that's the way I do. Wait a minute now. That's not what's going to happen. How big's the hole?
So the hole, it is like a rough-hewn passageway descending into the earth. So it does have like these steps, but it's like somebody's just taken big bits of rock and smooshed them into the mud. These steps that are going down into this. It's almost like a mine shaft, you know, with how it's braced. It's just very, somebody's trying to keep it a little secret or something.
Keep it safe.
Keep it safe.
So
yeah.
how big is the hole? That's all I was asking though.
It's roughly it's not much bigger than human size. It's definitely like not bigger than 5 feet wide.
Okay.
Probably like maybe 10 feet tall.
So we're talking single file.
Yeah, single file.
Right.
Aren't y'all glad we didn't decide to cave this thing in?
So
A little, and Aelia grips her spear and says, "Come on," and she starts to take the lead.
Alright, I'm behind. I guess I'll be behind her with this lion.
Ulfgar says, I forget. Can you see things in the dark very well?
No, and I don't care to.
There might be a problem with that then.
Aelia jiggles her spear, like, hurry up, cast the spell then.
Well, it'll also let them know that we're coming, because I'm sure that their kind. Actually, I know that their kind don't use light sources down under there too often.
I don't mind if they know I'm coming.
Right. And he just kind of goes, bing on the spear.
Okay. So you head down into the tunnel. Can you give me your order that you're heading in? The lion is actually happy to go first, but I don't know
So
if
me first, and then Valia behind, so I imagine the lion would be either in front of her or behind.
I'll let the lion go in front of me, and then I'll be behind it.
Okay, so we've got Aelia, Lion, Valia. Who's next?
I'll bring up the rear.
Ulfgar.
Ulfgar. Alright, I'll stay next to Valia. I'm used to fighting next to her.
Okay, and after Ulfgar? I should be writing this down, shouldn't I?
I can type it into chat.
I am.
Oh, she's got it.
Thank
There
you.
go.
I'll be right after Kellisto.
I was gonna let Flippy and I don't want Flippy to be at the end, so I was gonna let Flippy and Orbex and whatever her name is go between like the
Zegmira.
group in the front and then group in the.
Wouldn't there be a big spiritual dragon thing at the back?
Oh yeah. Okay, well then I'll go after Ulfgar and then everyone can.
Okay,
Filing behind.
so, Orvex will say, he says to Zegmira, I don't think you'll need my help down here.
Orbeck said this?
Yes.
Oh yeah, good idea. There's a temple back there. Should be safe. It's Ulfgar sarcastically.
He says, I prefer to wait for you above ground. And Zegmira says, she just kind of waves him off. You'll just get in the way, she says. So she's kind of agreeing with Orvex that he should stay up above ground. I don't know. Is anybody gonna... Well,
Nope.
Well, I say maybe you should go see if Bag of Nails will let you sleep in his little cellar. He might keep you safe.
Orvex just kind of looks at you and then looks away and starts like skulking away. He's like sneaking to the best of his ability back through the undergrowth.
Ulfgar says, stay hidden.
Or not.
We'll call for you when we come out.
Okay, so Zegmira is going to go after Kellisto. So then... Who else?
Tobias, are you between me and Zegmira? Or...
Is Flippy coming?
So I've got Aelia, Lion, Valia, Ulfgar, Kellisto, Tobias, Zegmira, and then Flippy and... And our trusty dragon takes up the back.
Patting your back. Do you have? Are you able to sense traps?
Yeah, it's called the Centaur Cleric at the front trips on him.
Yeah. Very true.
Just hope that it's not a lightning bolt spell.
I just can't. I can't even.
You need a 10-foot pole to tap in front.
I have a 5. No, that would be more than 5 foot. I have like a 12-foot pole. It's called a spear.
You have a 12-foot pole? What?
Spears are very long.
Do you keep that in your pocket?
No, I keep it out all the time.
Well, the
Actually,
better
it's
to
probably
stab
less
you with.
than 12, but you know, it's probably like 9 foot to be honest.
You could have a
Oh,
lance.
you're pretty tall as a centaur. Okay, so the passage winds into the bowels of the earth, and the air is wet and sticky, and the walls are slick with moisture.
Ah, home sweet home.
Harmless centipedes crawl across the floor as you descend. And you descend. It's you think you've been walking for about 50 feet, and the tunnel seems to keep going.
Ulfgar puts away Bob, pulls out the rapier.
Aelia single-mindedly keeps moving on.
Okay.
Feeling it's a little bit easier to work with in this confined space.
Yeah, the lion is continuing to pull forward. So after about 100 feet, you can hear ahead what sounds like water. Sounds like water flowing. And you see the exit of this tunnel. And before you can see an underground river opens up. And stalactites hang low over its surface, dripping water into this underground river.
Ulfgar says, and he puts the rapier away and he pulls Bob back out.
Musical weapons.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
So you can see, Aelia, that the light from your spear is kind of twinkling on the water up ahead. And you can hear the water kind of lapping against the dirt and stone of the tunnel where you are. And you can also see what looks like just beyond the entrance of the tunnel there's like an area of dirt and stone, dirt and rock, and then beyond
and
that
a giant baby crocodile.
Skeleton. Picked clean.
And beyond that is water, and you can see just kind of sitting on the water the shadow of 2 rowboats, and that's where we're going to leave it.
Were the rowboats on our side of the water?
Yes.
All right. Well, hey, I think I know what we're going to call the next episode. Hole of Doom.
No.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming out, for joining us for episode 50. No, we have not left Omu yet, Kashcah. I'm sorry.
Well,
maybe we will. Maybe we already are on the beginnings of it.
We know we are horrible tourists. You can't get rid of us.
Graffiti, killing people's pets.
You know, I was reading the graffiti that I wrote down, and I'd just like to point out we should have paid way more attention to it. One of them said, "Beware the frog monster."
Ulfgar was repeating multiples of them for a very long time, but then just gave up. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming out.
Yeah.
Join us next time on our what will probably be our usual time slot on Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow. Provided everybody or most of the people are able to make it. So we'll see you then. Have a good evening or morning.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.